everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Oh Shoot. I'm your host, Cassidy Lynn, and we're back for another episode. We've got a solo episode today, so it's just you and me, just like old times. And we're here to talk about the upcoming holiday Black Friday season. My goal in this episode is to help you guys feel really, really prepped and to know your options for this upcoming season. So it's a very strategic time for a lot of business owners, Black Friday specifically. So we're going to talk about, just some of your options, just some of the things that I feel like are important to know. So if you do decide to run a sale or whatever, I just want to make sure you have the options laid out in front of you. You kind of have a clear cut idea of what you want to do. And as you're listening to this episode, you might feel drawn to one idea over another. And that might be a good indication of kind of where your head's at. So that's what we're going to talk about today. I just feel like it's a very timely episode just with everything coming up so soon. I feel like you do have to do a good amount of prep if you're going to do a Black Friday sale, usually a little bit of pre-Black Friday marketing. So that's why this episode is coming out early November rather than right at Black Friday, because I want to give you guys some time to prep and really think about these things. So before we get into the episode, I've got some fun things. We're also going to do my social media segment. But first, of course, some life updates for you guys. So I've got 3 things. Number 1, a couple episodes back, I mentioned a retreat that I am thinking about doing. And I am very much thinking about doing it now, as in, I think I have a location picked out. I think I have a house picked out. I think I have pricing. I think I have dates. So it's not 100% going to happen. I would say I'm at 90%. But if anyone is interested, I'm going to let you guys know ahead of time, because that's kind of what we do here at Oh Shoot. So I'm thinking I am going to do it in Italy. Yep, you heard that right. I said Italy, as in the country in Europe. I'm thinking mid-July, okay? And price point is going to be around $5,000. That's not going to include your travel or anything like that, but there's going to be a lot that's included. So if anyone is thinking about it, it's going to be a great portfolio building experience, plus in-person teaching for me too. I think I'm only going to have a few slots open, and literally guys, I still have not even figured out my launch day or anything like that. But I just want to prep you guys. If this is something you really, really want, if this is something that needs to be incorporated into your Christmas present this year, I just want to prepare all of you. I think I'm only doing 12 slots. So there's that. It's not going to be a ton of people there. So I wasn't expecting to give you guys all those details, but whatever. And that's still all tentative. Things could change. I'm still waiting to hear back from the house and all of that. I need to book that and whatever. Okay. My second life update. We are in quite possibly the worst time of the year, which is daylight savings. I hate it here. I do not want the sun to set at 4 p.m. This was not part of my 2024 plan. And yeah, the sun rises earlier, but I'm sleeping anyway. I don't care what time the sun rises. I care more about what time the sun sets. So it's just a hard time of year, specifically for me. I'm sure you guys all feel this way. And I'm the type of person that literally, if it's 5 o'clock during daylight savings, I'll literally think to myself, oh, it's actually 6, because I feel like it's not natural for us to all change our clocks all the time. This is just, I hate it. And I just feel I do like the initial daylight savings push. So when we fall back and we essentially gain an hour, I like that because I feel like it allows me to start getting up earlier. My body's just used to getting up earlier and getting stuff done sooner. But then the evening comes and I'm literally what is going on? It is so dark. This is so sad. I don't know. I just feel like I get so used to like 8 p.m., 9 p.m. sunsets that when that goes away, I'm like, wow, this is like really, really, really sad. So happy daylight savings to all who celebrate and to all who are forced into it, like myself. Okay, my last life update for you guys. This is so random. By the time this comes out, me and Charlie will have already done this, but this week I don't have like that much work to do, and a lot of it I can just like do from my computer. I have like a lot of my content like pre-made, ready to go, and I have all scheduled. I'm feeling really good about like where I'm at with my editing. I think I only have like one other thing left to edit. So I'm just kind of chilling. I've got like, I think the thing I have left to edit is like it's due in like 3 weeks or something. So I'm not even like worried about it. So me and Charlie were talking and we were like, we've never been around like all of Lake Michigan before. Like obviously we live on like, if you don't know where Grand Rapids, Michigan is, it's on like the side of the lake. Let's see, it's the east side of the lake. And like we have like, obviously I've been all along the Michigan side of Lake Michigan, but Lake Michigan actually touches, Wisconsin, and, like the upper peninsula of Michigan actually like goes all the way up to the top of Lake Michigan. And then it turns into Wisconsin. So me and Charlie were like, we've never been to the other side of Lake Michigan. We also do like to do a little bit of like a fall, either camping trip or some sort of trip just to kind of like have fun. Like, with the leaves, it gives you just something to look forward to, a nice like little break in the midst of a really busy season. So I think we're going to go on a road trip. I think we're literally just going to drive all the way around Lake Michigan. And I think it's going to be like, we're going to do a couple of days. I think we're going to stop in a few places and like spend the night. We're going to take our dog with us, and I think we're just going to do it. Like, it just feels right. And sometimes you just need a little break from life. That's kind of how I've been feeling lately. I've just been wanting a little bit of a break from some of the things that are going on in my life. So I think it'll be really nice to go and take this road trip and kind of like decompress a little bit. So yeah, this is going to be good. So, I'll update you guys probably next week on how that goes. Next week, I think is going to be an advice column episode. So, I'll have to stay tuned on the Aftershoot stories for the link to submit. Because like always, I read through your guys' submissions, and they're always like fresh submissions too. I don't go through like old ones. So with that being said, let's get into the episode, shall we? Oh, just kidding. Social media segment. Yay. This is actually interesting. So what I've been noticing lately on social media is, specifically for photographers, the meta point of view. So the Ray-Ban Meta glasses are obviously blowing up. I feel like they have been for like a year at this point. They're very, very popular within the photographer community. If you don't already have them, I have a link in my Instagram bio, which is, I don't think you get a discount, but it does just like support me. I think I get like, it's like an affiliate link. But the Ray-Ban Meta point of view on social media right now, I've been noticing it a lot, and it feels very simple. Like that's all you have to do is post the Ray-Ban Meta view point of view video. Like literally, yes, that's all you have to do. It's still a new enough concept that I think it's a very interesting video, especially if you are shooting something that's very interesting. If you're shooting something that's very high stakes, if you capture something that maybe you weren't supposed to capture, like the point of view from the Meta glasses is very, very popular. And I had a couple of videos that I posted. Literally, they're super simple. It's just me shooting a ceremony, like the bride entering and then like the couple leaving. Like it was literally, so like I posted 2 separate videos and both of them got a good amount of views and a lot of engagement. And so I think that's kind of a very easy thing to post on social media right now. And I think it performs really, really well. I also have noticed a lot of original audios. I feel like social media kind of goes in waves. Specifically, I'm thinking of TikTok. There will be points in time where I'm on my For You page and all I have are trending audios. And then like the next couple of days, it's only like original audios of people talking. So we still are standing by original audios. And my last little part of social media segment is feed posts are back, baby. I think that Instagram feed posts are getting pushed more to the point where sometimes they even are performing better. And it's actually crazy because I was watching, I think it's like, I don't know who this guy is. His name's, I think, Montessori or something like that. But he's like the Instagram guy. He works at Instagram. I don't know exactly what his role is. But essentially, he was saying that if you add music to your feed posts, what that's going to do is it's going to allow your feed posts to be discovered within like the videos algorithm as well as like the static image algorithm. So if you're going to do a feed post, he was saying just put music on there. It's going to help you just like be shown to more people and essentially help your feed posts do better. So it's cool because feed posts are kind of being put on both algorithms, on static and video algorithms. So something important to note. We love a good feed post. Anyway, let's talk about what to do during the holiday season. As a photographer, what should you be advertising? What are we posting? What are we selling? Okay. And essentially, I do want to talk to you guys mainly about the whole like Black Friday thing, about kind of just the holiday season in general. I know a lot of photographers do make a good chunk of their income during the holiday season, like Christmas minis and other forms of mini sessions. Like that's how they're getting a lot of their income because people want family photos. So this is a very interesting time of year, and it's kind of what you make it, and that's what you'll discover. You could do nothing or you could do everything. So first, I want you guys all to ask yourself, before we even dive into any of these strategies, I want to ask you, what is your goal in this time of year? So I have a couple different goals listed out here. Do you have a goal to gain more followers? Do you have a goal to gain more exposure, get more exposure? Is your goal to get more bookings? Is your goal just to do what everyone else is doing? That's probably not your goal. Is your goal to get more emails in an email list? I want you first to think about that before we even dive into any of these other strategies and stuff, because your goal is going to help you identify what you should be doing. And that's a big thing that I live by. When I'm thinking about like, oh, I want to, I don't know, do a workshop. When I'm thinking about that, sometimes I can hyperfixate on things, but it's like, I'm trying to think of what is my goal, and does a workshop fall into my goal of like, maybe my overall business goals, or do I have like smaller business goals? Does a workshop fall into that? And yes, for me, a workshop does fall into my goals. So whenever we do anything in our business, it doesn't even have to be Black Friday or holiday season related. Everything you do should fall within a goal that you have. Even a passion project, like you could have a goal of doing a passion project, which means you could basically do anything you want. Like a passion project is literally just whatever gives you a little bit of creative spark and helps you have fun. But you want to make sure that whatever we're doing in our businesses, we have a goal that is tied to that, because goal setting is going to help us achieve and get to where we want to go. Okay. So the goal is like the big thing here. Okay. That's basically what I want to say. The only thing worse than taking too many photos while you're shooting is getting home and then having to edit all of them. Here's some ways to speed up your editing workflow without losing any quality in your work. Today, I want to introduce Aftershoot Edits 2.0. You can experience the most consistent edits straight out of Aftershoot. One of my favorite things about Aftershoot is their upgraded white balance and exposure AI models. Even if your lighting varies during your session and you have a lot of drastic changes, Aftershoot's able to instantly fix any blown out highlights, murky shadows, and overall, this feature allows you to have balanced photos no matter what your lighting conditions were. Another way to speed up your editing workflow is by using AI masking in Aftershoot Edits 2.0. This feature allows you to selectively edit your images through masking. With AI masking, Aftershoot can automatically select your subjects and adjust them to really make them pop in your image. Another great way to save time while you're editing is to use Aftershoot's advanced cropping and straightening. This tool allows you to customize and select any aspect ratio, and it even automatically crops in your photos so that the focus is more on your subject. It also can automatically straighten your photo, which is going to save you so much time in the long run. Say goodbye to spending way too much time editing your photos and use Aftershoot Edits 2.0. Aftershoot has an exclusive offer for all Oh Shoot listeners, so go to the link in the description of this episode to find out more. Thank you guys so much for watching, and now back to the show. And I do want to give a little bit of a disclaimer here. Sometimes sales don't always give off like a luxury vibe. Think of the Prada store. They don't really do sales. They're a luxury high-end store. They don't do sales because they know the value in what they sell. So we're going to be talking about sales and discounted sessions and all of that. But I want everyone listening to be very aware of the fact that sometimes sales are more hurtful and harmful than they are helpful. Not all of the time, but sometimes. And we're going to kind of talk about that a little bit too. When you give too much of a discount or you're too pushy about sales, that can actually devalue you and your work. So if I am doing a Christmas mini session and my normal sessions are, let's say $500, and my Christmas minis are $50 for literally like 30 minutes. That, and like my normal session is like an hour and a half. That is such a drastic cut from your normal price that it's going to completely devalue your $500 package, because people are saying, oh, well, I can at Christmas time book her for $50 instead of $500. All I have to do is wait for Christmas and she'll do mini sessions. So you want to be really careful. You want to make sure that whatever you're discounting, it's not discounted to the point where it's like, whoa, it's giving desperate. Like, why are you trying so hard to book something? Like, are you not good? Do you not have a lot of bookings? That's what clients think. And, clients want to work with someone who matches up with their like creative vision, but also someone that they know is a desired photographer, someone that gets bookings, someone that is experienced. That's what a lot of clients are looking for. And sometimes when we discount too much, it can appear as though we don't have that. Even if you are experienced, that's just kind of what can happen. So remember, your work is valuable at full price. So I'm not trying to come on here and tell every single one of you that you need to do a Black Friday sale, because some of you guys in your work, like, you're confident enough in the bookings you get throughout the year. You don't even need to do that. And that's totally fine. Maybe in listening to this, you can kind of brainstorm for the future. If you have other goals, maybe you want to get into education or whatever it is, maybe you can take away some of that from this episode. Like, you can do a Black Friday sale on education stuff or whatever. Or, maybe in the future you might want to do some sort of mini session. This episode is still going to be helpful for you. But remember that at the end of the day, we don't want to devalue our work. We want to make sure that our work still has value at full price, and that we're willing to stand by our prices, full price. Just because you get more bookings at a sale price does not mean you need to always offer a discount. So a lot of the times when we offer sales or mini sessions or whatever, they can become quite popular, and it can almost be a shock, because it's like, oh, I've been trying to get a session on my books for months, and then all of a sudden I offer mini sessions and I have 8 clients booked. So that can be hard, because you're like, well, maybe I need to lower my prices. And that could be an indication that maybe you could think about lowering your prices. But remember, mini session clients aren't always going to be the most ideal clients for you, because most of the time mini session clients or sale clients are looking for a good deal. I'm not going to say everyone is, but a lot of the times if someone books you as a result of a sale or a discount, it's because they're looking for ways to save money, which is not always a bad thing. But remember, just because you book a lot of mini sessions doesn't mean that your normal session rate needs to be lower. Maybe that's just an indication that you need to do mini sessions more often, or you just need to offer mini sessions every year. You need to do sales more often, or you need to do a sale every single year. So I just want to make sure that when we're talking about sales, that you're not just going to go and slash your normal session rate because you see, oh, I booked so many mini sessions. This was great. Cause that's not all what I want to happen. If anything, what a mini session is going to do is it's going to show people like your original value is so high that this mini session rate is so good and amazing, and they need to act on it right now. That's kind of what we want to communicate, and that's what we want to happen. So we're going to talk about Black Friday sales. Now, I think a lot of the times people think that Black Friday doesn't necessarily apply to like the service industry, but it 100% does. I think people associate Black Friday with like Old Navy or Amazon, places that sell like physical goods that get shipped to you. But Black Friday is allowed for everyone. Black Friday does not discriminate because we can do sales as well. So for Black Friday, I want to just give you guys a few ideas of some things you can offer. First thing that you can offer for Black Friday is a discounted session for off season of 2025. So essentially, if you do a Black Friday sale, this could be a big thing that you sell, because what this is going to do is going to help you fill your downtime. So when you offer a discounted session for like the off season, this is going to allow you to create more of a full-time year-round look to your calendar. You kind of have to think, what are you doing in February anyway? I feel like I'm not doing much. So I might as well offer discounted sessions. And I think a big key thing in this is your discounted sessions are not always available for the off season. It's only the sale ends. It goes from Friday to Sunday. You want to make sure you're creating that urgency. That's going to be really, really important to make sure that you are actually converting these leads into bookings. So this is going to be a really good excuse just to fill your time. I think it's really important to, try to fill your time during the off season. Doesn't necessarily have to be sessions, but just in general, just making sure that you are doing stuff and staying, I want to say staying active, but it doesn't even have to be physically active. Thinking mentally active, creatively active, just making sure you're not letting yourself completely get in a slump to the point where it's picking up a camera again in May is going to be really, really hard. The off season really is a really great time to grow. Anyway, when you offer a discounted session for the 2025 off season, this is also going to allow you to reach a wider audience of people. Essentially, this is kind of how it is with every time you offer a discount. Offering a discount allows you to reach people with potentially lower budgets, and that's a wider audience. So that's always a good thing, to reach a wider audience. It can be a good thing. And lastly, this is going to challenge you to not shoot just during the pretty months. And I think this is a good creative challenge. Shooting in the off season is very challenging. There's a reason it's the off season. It's the reason for the season. I mean, off season is different depending on where you live. I know in Florida, off season is actually during the summer because it's so freaking hot there. But for a lot of normal people, off season is going to be during the winter. And a lot of the times things are not as pretty during the winter. So it's going to challenge you to really step outside of your comfort zone. You don't just get pretty sunsets and green grass and green leaves all the time. You might need to be shooting indoors. You might need to be shooting downtown. You might need to be shooting, I don't really know where else, but you can think of it. Okay. So it's going to be just a really nice creative challenge to be shooting during the off season, offer some discounted sessions. So that is one Black Friday idea for you guys. Second Black Friday idea is to offer money off on your wedding packages. So this specific concept and sale would be really great for beginners / intermediate wedding photographers. I think if you've already established your business enough, this is something that I probably feel like you wouldn't really need to do because you're getting enough bookings, period. And that's where we're going to go back to your goals. Is one of your goals to get more bookings? Maybe not. Maybe one of your goals is to get more ideal bookings, like more luxury weddings or whatever it is that your ideal wedding is. So offering a discount might not necessarily match up with your goal, and that's okay. But if your goal is to get more bookings, this does match up with your goals. So be careful though, when you offer a dollar amount off of a wedding package, to not devalue yourself. Like I mentioned earlier, it can be a very slippery slope. So I think sometimes setting the boundary of like, this is only available for a week, or whatever, like that is a good boundary because it's not going to devalue you to the point where it's like, oh, my sales extended. Like you can book me for half off for the whole year. Like that's not a good thing to do. But putting that deadline on this type of sale would be really, really good. And also maybe you only offer it for like a limited number of weddings as well. So maybe you do it from a Friday to a Friday. So it's only like a week-long sale and you're only offering it for like 1 or 2 weddings. And a good thing you might want to add in is that it can't be someone who's already reached out. It can't be someone who's already like inquiring with you, because that gets tricky. Or maybe it could be. I don't know. What do you guys think? I feel like if it's someone that like you sent contracts to and everything, and then they like ghosted you, and then they come back and they're like, oh, I want the Black Friday sale price. I don't know if I like that. I think I would want only new inquiries to be able to cash this in. Yeah, that's kind of what my thought goes to. You guys can let me know what you think. Offering offering a discount. Sorry, literally, I keep wanting to like say like a money bags. I don't know why. Like, I literally don't know why. I keep wanting to say like a money off. That does not make sense. If you offer, oh my gosh, what do you even say? Like if you offer a price off, guys, I'm really struggling with this. How do you say like okay, I'm just going to say a discount. If you offer a discount on your wedding packages, there we go. It can also help with your word of mouth. And what's funny about this is you can have previous clients talking to their current friends being like, my photographer is offering a sale, and it's going to help you with word of mouth. Even if you don't end up booking anything from this sale, what the sale might do is just get people talking about you. And ultimately that is a great goal to have as well, is just to have awareness of your photography business, right? So although if you offer the sale, maybe you don't get a bunch of bookings from it, but what the sale does is it does prompt people to talk about you and kind of spread the word about you a little bit. Sometimes if you offer money off of a wedding package, this can attract budget shoppers, which is why I think you do need to be really careful when you discount packages and sessions, because discounted packages doesn't always bring in the right type of people. So just be careful about that. An ideal situation would be someone who's been eyeing your work for a while, really wants to work with you, but this sale really pushed them to reach out, right? Like they already love your work or whatever. They're not just reaching out because of the sale and that's it. So instead of maybe offering money off of a session, maybe you just add on extra value to a package. So this would be a great way to avoid budget shoppers, but also still be able to do a little bit of a Black Friday special. So you could be like, from Friday to Friday, I am offering I'm adding on a second shooter to all of my wedding packages for free if you book within the next week. That could be really cool. I do think that's tricky. It's tricky if no one, if someone doesn't know your packages and they're not familiar with it, that might not be as enticing. So maybe this is something that's enticing for someone that maybe is ghosting you currently, or, someone that reached out, but they're kind of on the fence. This might be a good sale to hit those people with. So things you could add on instead of taking a price away from your sessions or packages, maybe instead you add on a second shooter, an engagement session, Polaroids or prints or something like that. Something that you think is going to make someone make a decision about you. So it's that high value of a thing. So something else you can offer for Black Friday is a referral deal. So this is interesting. And I think a referral program is beneficial just in general. But I think if you want to start applying this to your business, Black Friday / the holiday season would be a really good place to start. So a referral deal in my head is essentially being if you refer me as a photographer to someone and they mention you, they get $100, and if you book with me, you get $100. So that number as well could change. You could make it more, you can make it less. But essentially a referral incentive, it's a great thing for getting more clients, getting the word out about your business, etc. So like I said, $100 could be a great starting point. You could also do more than that. If you really want to book things, do $500, but remember, they have to actually book with you is the thing. So you get the money when the person books. And remember, with all of these sales, it should be a limited time offer, at least in my opinion. If you want to apply a referral program to your business, I do think it's a great idea. The money incentive probably shouldn't be as high as $500 during a non-sale moment. So maybe $100 or $50 is something that you do just during the year for fun, just to have it in place. And then for a Black Friday sale, then you're going to bump it up to $500. So even if you don't get a ton of takers, just like my last point that I made with the wedding package thing, with a referral sale, even if you don't get a ton of takers, you're still going to have people talking about you. And like I said, that's a great thing. We love to be talked about. That's what we love. So next, and kind of obvious thing to offer during Black Friday, but also this more so just bleeds into the holiday season, is Christmas mini sessions. And depending on what you celebrate, it doesn't even have to be Christmas. It could be just holiday mini sessions. It could be whatever. But essentially this time of year, a lot of family is getting together specifically for Thanksgiving or whatever holiday you celebrate during December. Family's getting together. And when family gets together, we want pictures, right? I feel that within my own family as well. I want photos to kind of document this moment. I want photos to remember what we all looked like for Christmas of 2024. So this is going to be a great time to offer Christmas minis, is during Christmas. Obviously, duh, guys, come on. So this is a great thing to offer if you do family sessions. Also, if you do couple sessions as well. I think what can be nice about this is you can get a nice mix between couples and families. You might get a lot of families. I guarantee you, if you do Christmas minis, you're going to get a lot of families, but you also might get a lot of couples as well. I think a lot of people have reason to want to document during this time of year. Whether that's baby's first Christmas or, there's a bunch of kids that are just young and fun. There's just a lot of people that want photos during this time of year. So let's talk a little bit about how to do Christmas minis. So how to orchestrate mini sessions in an organized fashion. Number one, you're going to want to create a HoneyBook scheduling link. And what you're going to do within your scheduling link is set it to be only specific. Sorry, I literally can't talk. Set it to be only one specific day in the calendar, whatever day it is that you want to do Christmas minis. Let's say it's December 1st. You're going to do December 1st is your day, and you're going to set up time slots. So you're going to say, there's going to be 20-minute increments starting from increments. I think I said that wrong. 20-minute increments starting from 10 a.m. all the way to 2 p.m. And that's going to be what people are allowed to book with you. When you have this scheduling link, there's a couple different ways that you can do it. I would recommend creating a HoneyBook proposal and essentially putting in, first you start with like creating a separate mini session HoneyBook inquiry form. So you're going to get like a lot of details on there. You want to make sure that you ask them like, what time slot are you looking for? Just a normal inquiry form, but maybe with a few extra details that you need to know to do your mini sessions. When they fill out that inquiry form, you're going to create a HoneyBook workflow. So right away, when they reach out, they are being put into your mini session workflow. And that first step of the workflow is to send them the proposal. And the proposal then is going to have a contract, an invoice, and then I would think once they finish those two things, they're going to get an email automatically after, and that's going to be within your HoneyBook workflow that sends them a link to your mini sessions scheduling link. So what this whole process is going to do is you're going to force them to sign the contract, pay the invoice. And then once those two things are done, they get to pick a time slot. Now, I could see it being a problem where some people want to book the time slot first and then pay. If that's the case, and if you think that would be an issue, what you're going to do is same thing, separate HoneyBook inquiry form for mini sessions. Then instead of getting sent the proposal right away, they're going to be sent an email right away with a link to book their mini session. And basically it's going to be the scheduling link is what you're going to send them. They get to pick a time slot. Right away, you are going to send them, or you could probably trigger it within your workflow to send that proposal and just let them know in that email, if the proposal isn't filled out and finished within 2 hours, your time slot is canceled. So what that does is it creates a little bit of urgency. Now it scares me a little bit because if you do the scheduling link first, people could just not pay and then they took up a slot. So that's why I think getting the payment first is going to be the best thing. That's just going to be my opinion. So let's see, back to my notes. If you're going to offer mini sessions, you want to make sure you have like a good landing page as well, and like a good info page for the client before they book. So basically on your website, just create like a landing page, maybe just for the time being. You have like a mini sessions thing in your menu, and it's just a landing page that shows a little bit of your work, maybe similar photos that you would take of a family. If you've got like family photos or couples photos, whatever, you're showing like the location that the mini sessions are going to be like, you're showing the setup. You're showing examples, you're giving all the details of how everything works. That landing page is going to be really important because the people that reach out and acquire, you want to make sure they're really, really serious. You want to make sure they make their payment. So that landing page is going to basically prep them for the seriousness of the situation. And also don't forget to set up that mini session workflow. If anyone has like a better way of hosting mini sessions, let me know. But in my brain, that feels like the only thing that makes the most sense is to kind of send everyone the scheduling link. And then, once the schedule is full, HoneyBook won't show multiple time slots. Like it won't show time slots for things that are already booked. So the last idea I have for Black Friday for you guys is potentially a Black Friday giveaway. And I'm going to be very careful when I say this because I think this is truly only for beginners. I think a giveaway can really devalue you if you're anywhere beyond a beginner. So a Black Friday giveaway, just give away a couple session or whatever it is that you want to give away. I would highly recommend staying away from giving away a full wedding package. I think that's pretty self-explanatory. That feels like a lot. That feels kind of crazy. Yeah, you'd get great exposure on it, but I don't think it'd be any of the right people that like you want to work with. I don't know. So with that being said, a giveaway would be great for like a couple session or a family session or just a normal portrait session. That's not going to take too much of your time. And like I said, I think it's great for someone that is just dipping their toes in the water, wants to grow and book more clients. This is the big thing. If you want more exposure and that's one of your goals, a giveaway might help you get there. So I have just a few other things that are just a good idea to offer during this time of year. Studio sessions. If you want to book more in the off season, having a studio that you love to go to and either offering a studio discount or just like advertising that you do studio sessions, that's just going to be a great thing for the winter. Especially if you want to supplement your income a little bit. Maybe you want to bump up your numbers, work a little bit more during your off season. Offering a studio session is going to be so important. And even you could do studio minis if you want. But I think that kind of collides a little bit with like the holiday minis. But, you could also just not make your stuff holiday related. Your minis could just be studio minis. Maybe they're just plain normal studio minis because, maybe you want the photos to be more timeless or something like that. I'm saying minis so much and it's making me think of the chicken minis from Chick-fil-A. I'm like also so hungry. Okay, keep going. I'm going to wrap this up because I got to go eat, guys. So something else that would be great to offer during this time of year is mentorships. I believe when I was kind of dabbling in the education space, when I first was really dabbling in education, mentorships was one of the first things I offered during my slow season. And this was just a great way for me to make money, truly. Like it's off season. It's like I'm not shooting much. I might as well put my knowledge to good use. And even if I just book one or two, that's great. And I ended up discovering that I was booking a lot of them to the point where I was like, okay, I need to raise my prices because I'm doing 8 hours of mentor sessions every single day. So a mentorship would be a great thing to offer during this time, or even doing a mentorship. If there's someone that you really look up to, or if you feel like you have a specific issue that you want a professional to address, find someone that can really help you with that. That would be a great thing to do during this time of year. And then offering free shoots to feed your creativity. I've talked about this idea for avoiding burnout, but I think during slow season, it can be not just like you're not avoiding burnout, you're avoiding plateauing, you're avoiding losing the creativity altogether, which is what happens during busy season and slow season. It's actually crazy. If you shoot too much, you kind of lose your creativity. If you shoot too little, you also lose it. So offering free shoots, I would say make sure it specifically falls within something you really feel passionate about, something you really do want to shoot. But this would just be a great thing to offer during the slower season of the year. Okay, guys, thank you so much for listening to today's episode. If you're watching on YouTube, thank you so much for being here. If you're listening on Spotify or Apple, make sure to leave me a rating review. It would mean so much. 5 stars. I think that's basically it for this week. Like I said, next week we're going to do an advice column. So make sure you check my Instagram stories for that link to submit your advice that you need. I will see you guys next week for another episode. Have an amazing rest of your day.